And so there's a few basic things that we want to make sure that we're going for with mowing. The first is that typically with a lot of our warm season grasses, with any of our turf grasses, we want to, in a lawn scenario, be on the upper end of the recommended mowing height range. And this doesn't necessarily mean do not mow, but what it does mean is, I'll show you guys some ranges here in a second for different common species of turf grass that we grow in lawns here in Texas. And when we stay on the upper end of that, meaning we let that grass be a little bit taller, we're going to see several potential benefits from that. So the first is that taller grass is going to typically be more competitive with weeds. It's going to shade out the soil to prevent weeds from germinating and emerging. And the other thing, which is an even bigger thing, is that with any of our plants that are growing in native soil, we're going to see a relationship between above and below ground growth. All right. And we refer to this a lot of times as the root to shoot ratio. So if I let my turf grass be a little bit taller, I'm typically going to see that correspond to deeper roots below ground. And as a general rule of thumb, the primary thing we really want to try to create in our lawn is deeper, healthier roots. When I have deeper, healthier roots, I'm going to be more drought tolerant. I'm going to be more cold tolerant. I'm going to be more traffic tolerant, and I'm going to have overall a more resilient turf grass system. So we really want to try to encourage that through our management practices. And one of the first things that we can do to support deeper root growth is to have this little bit taller mowing height. And when we get those deeper roots, it's going to offer other benefits to us as well, like improving how much water our turf grass lawn can capture when we get a rainfall event. So if we have areas of the landscape where roots are very shallow or where we don't have good plant materials, these are typically areas that don't absorb water as well as areas that have really good established plants and deep root systems. And so, with the type of rainfall that we get here in North Texas, we want to try to capture as much of that as possible. And similarly with our irrigation, we want to try to prevent runoff as much as possible.